Did you guys see this? Biden's best actions in office according to likely voters. It's just a little poll. It's just really funny that by a huge margin, like literally double to the next up, the best thing he did was deciding not to run again. But they're also not pulling the highest response, which was people saying nothing slash unsure slash no best thing. Really, really helps you like dig in with the mediocrity of this presidency. Best poll in years. I don't even know how uh reliable the data set is. It's just funny. History's sleepiest president, yeah. Crazy because Biden had a really impactful president apart from the whole falling into fascism thing. Not really, no. Like a lot of the pro-labor stuff he did is just going to get undone or be meaningless in the context of new advancements in favor of capital. Like what history, this was not the time to effectively manage the country. This was the time to, you know, aggressively and boldly work to protect democracy, which he absolutely did not do. Arguably, CHIPS Act was the biggest thing I can think of. Yeah, but it's been made meaningless because Trump wants to undo it, and he's the next guy. So, speaking of the Democrats, securing the mediocrity of this presidency, look at this shit, man. Senators voted 61 to 35 to end debate on the Laken Riley Act. Got 10 Democrats. Ruben Gallego, Mark Kelly, John Ossoff, Gary Peters, Jackie Rosen, Catherine Masto, Jean Shaheen, Maggie Hassan, Mark Warner, Elissa Slotkin, Gallego, and of course Fetterman. Obviously Fetterman. Oh, Fetterman, who did not vote, were co-sponsored the legislation. Okay, yeah. Ossoff was always sussy on the border. I don't remember that. Not disagreeing, I just don't remember. Thanks, Ossoff. Love this. Really makes you feel that like revolving villain theory where, you know, the Democrats always just have just barely enough complicit members of the House and Senate to get the Republicans' agenda done, and they get to be like the villains of that term. It's always just enough, you know? But if these people weren't here, it would be another 10, maybe. So this bill is about locking up illegal migrants who are suspects of crime. It basically allows for like a suspension of due process, rapid deportation, a bunch of really nasty stuff, like immediate detention in a lot of cases. It's a vile anti-constitutional bill that has passed because the Constitution doesn't matter anymore. I bet Joe Biden's going to sign it. Yeah, there's always a bad Democrat to accept the flack, then go off or take speaking fees from major industries. It's over political system. Yeah, it really makes you wonder with people like Fetterman, or how am I blanking on her name? Come on, Arizona, please. We all hate her. I have a terrible memory, but we all know who I'm referring to. Cinema, yeah. With people like Fetterman and Cinema, where the powers that be are just like, okay, just a few million in the right place, we'll get what we need. You know, if it wasn't them, it could be someone else. Don't forget that Trump is going to make the feds raid Chicago on Tuesday for migrants. Yep. I look forward to seeing how that develops. That'll be cinema. Hope their boots freeze to the goddamn streets. The legislation would mandate federal detention of immigrants without legal status who are accused of theft, burglary, and assaulting a law enforcement officer, among other things. Accused! While a number of those Democrats have said they would open final passage of the bill, others said they were only voting to open debate to facilitate an amendment process. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Friday's vote was not nearly as large after that amendment process did not bear the kind of fruit Democrats had hoped for. Wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna vote to end debate on this fascist bill for fascism because I really want to explore the possibility of adding some amendments to it, you know, really pork this bill up. Oh, it turns out the fascism bill was just mostly about fascism, yeah. There weren't actually that many opportunities to attach good things to the fascism bill. Oops. You think anything crazy will happen to the inauguration? I mean, Trump might say something about TikTok. Maybe he'll declare that he's annexed Greenland and dare Denmark to do something about it. I don't know. One of the amendments that, or one of the amendment votes that was had, presumably, was the one where Bernie Sanders was trying to get them to restructure H-1B visas, but I don't think anything's going to be made of that. Obviously not. Hey, guys, want to hear some words of comfort from Chuck Schumer, our leading a warrior against the encroachment of fascism and anti-democracy? Ahead of Friday's cloture vote, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who had earlier voted to open debate on the bill, lamented that more amendment votes were not brought to the floor. We voted on 2 amendments and no more, Schumer said. Unfortunately, without more changes to address deficiencies, I'll be voting no. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Schumer. While I do not support this particular bill, I stand ready to work with both sides to pass smart, effective, tough, and common sense legislation to secure our borders and reform our immigration system. That's great, man. The bill that allows you to like seize the owning the possessions of Jewish households without trial or whatever. Now, well, I don't agree with the bill, but you know, I do look forward to continuing to work on the crisis within Germany. Insane shit, man. Insane shit. Peak incompetence. I don't know how much we can say incompetence anymore. You know, like we're pretty down the road now. You know, they're pretty bought. Yeah. Like think of the amount of wealth that has been unified in the pursuit of a Trump presidency. You think none of that's been kicked over on the other side? None of those pressures? Look, I do think people like Chuck Schumer, to an extent, have drank their own Kool-Aid, and they probably do think that there is some value to maintaining the artifice of bipartisanship. Um, but I think that's a conclusion they've come to with a lot of pressure from the other side. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there are a lot of liberal leaders who do genuinely believe that their, like, high roading is essential to keeping the path, but they're also getting pressured really hard into that position. Sorry, earlier I asked whether or not the Laken Riley Act would get signed in by Biden. I'm a fool and I forgot what day it is. It will get signed in by Trump. Perfectly timed for that. The Laken Riley Act isn't the solution to Democrats soul searching on immigration. A growing number of moderate Democrats are God almighty, rushing to back the opening salvo in President-elect Trump's anti-immigration crackdown. They're like little pygmies. That poor girl is going to be remembered for the horrific acts of this government. Yeah, no kidding. If they were a bit more sentimental and had mass media back in the Germany days, there would probably be a bunch of like anti-Jewish laws that were passed that were named after like, I don't know, random Aryan white women or whatever who'd like just happened to fall victim to random violence or tripped and fell down a manhole cover and somebody saw a Jewish guy nearby. I don't know. And that'd be what they'd be remembered for. There was a law like that. I can't remember. There are probably a lot of laws like that. I just don't know them. I would be suspect of anyone who knows the names of every single German anti-Jewish law throughout the 30s, you know? Hort Wessel? Bessel, I suppose. Dozens of Congress members outperformed the stock market in 2024. I wonder why.